My name is Rhonda Montgomery. So my oldest daughter is 13, and I gave birth to her when I was 27. My 7-year-old, I was 32 when I gave birth to the 7-year-old, and 35 when I gave birth to the 2-year-old. I would prefer to talk about my oldest child because that was like a very, very big, um, I would say a life-changing event for me. I had my oldest daughter, the 13-year-old, when I was in prison. And I had give birth to my baby in a prison, chained to a bed, handcuffed. I had a C-section. I had officers in the room with doctors. I had to send my baby home. I couldn't keep her, so I had her for 3 days after I had the C-section, and they took her. I didn't come home until she was 2. The postpartum that I went through, being separated from her, it was very, very hard. I used to dream about dead babies. I used to hear babies crying. I would cry a lot. My breast would be, I would be making milk, and it would just like, from it running, I went through something mentally because there was no baby there to feed. My oldest daughter was a very, very, very traumatic birth experience. The prenatal care was excellent. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't have no horror stories about, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't give me that. That would be a lie. My prenatal care in prison was excellent. The people were impeccable. Prenatal vitamins, ultrasounds on time. I was a diabetic. I was gestational diabetic, so everything. I seen diabetic specialists. Any kind of specialist really that I needed to see, I was very well taken care of. I think that the staff, not only the medical staff, but I think the prison staff did an excellent job with being, I would say, extra sensitive to my need at the time. It wasn't a bad experience, honestly. It was just the postpartum. It was the postpartum. After I had the baby was like the worst part because, like I said, my body going through all of this stuff where there was supposed to be a baby there and there was none. The postpartum care, I was really left to deal with like by myself because, it was prison. So after you had a baby, they get your C-section together. Once you're able to go back in general population, you're basically, you just got to deal with what you got to deal with. It's not a babysitting club, it's prison. So they don't hold your hand and baby you the whole step away, but I mean they do what they can. They do what's permitted for prisoners. But my postpartum care, I pretty much dealt with it myself. I mean, I went to a psychiatrist. They put me on medication, but it didn't work.